Hello, friends of the bass. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to Phil Plays Bass, the one and only, super unique, unbelievably non-ever occurring in the history of humanity. It's not a podcast, stream where we talk about bass, but it's with me, Phil. I play bass. Guys, I hope you're all doing very well. If you get any value from this stream at all, do consider clicking the like button. Even better, subscribing. Even better. Consider buying me a coffee. That would really help. But any contribution whatsoever is super welcome. I hope everyone is doing okay. It's very rainy here in Belgium. Very good for the plants. Not so good for the outdoor activities. Sadly, this is apparently the first weekend of holiday for most people. And I hope they decided to take that holiday somewhere else than Belgium. Because right now, it's pretty grim. But, like I said, good for the plants. I've got a little vegetable patch. So, pretty chuffed that it's raining today. Doesn't really have anything to do with bass. But whilst we're waiting for more people to join in, I'm suspecting that Michael's already here. Because Michael's already here. And he always religiously gives it a like. It's Nate. It's Nate. It wasn't Michael. And Nate says, fingers still tickling from last night's gig. Oh, sweet, dude. Where were you? What kind of gig was it? Playing covers? Playing originals? Let me know, dude. I'd like to know. I'm interested. Anything you struggled with? Any tunes? Any new songs you had to learn particularly? Yeah, and then hopefully we don't get a copyright strike if I fancy playing along to some of them. Keep getting copyright strikes all across the board, all the time. Thank God this channel is not yet monetized. Otherwise, I'd be in deep trouble. I think that's how it works. Although some people are happy to just take a chunk of your profits and just leave it at that. Not too sure. Nate, if you do have more info about that, yeah, I'd be interested to hear. Nate says, covers mainly. Had a singer for 2 of them. Mostly were just covers that were improv'd, jammed over. I love these gigs, man. I love these kinds of gigs where it's just you essentially, well, let me know if it's different from what I'm picturing, but you sort of capture the vibe of the tune and then you kind of just do whatever you want with it, take it somewhere else, do a couple of choruses or whatever, and then sort of take some solos, just, yeah, sort of hover around. Yeah, I used to be in a jam band like that with my good friend Antoine from Charleroi. Very good guy. And a fun band to play with. I don't think we've got any videos of us actually doing that. Although they could be. Oh, dude, that'd be crazy. 2009? I'm curious now. This is me sort of getting derailed practically immediately, but not YouTube Studio. Silly goose. No. Oh wow, dude, there is a video. There is a video there, but I don't think it's a video of us. Oh, dude, sweet. Did you just upload a video or something? I forgot to turn Discord on. Discord is forever updating on my computer. So every time I start it, every time I click the Discord icon, it just goes, oh yeah, there's a new update every single day. Come on, guys. Like, how imperfect is your program? Or they're just working very hard at making it better. I saw a video today of a guy I follow on YouTube called the Primogen. He's big in the sort of programming world. He streams himself programming and talks about all sorts of topics, reads articles, all of that. Super interesting if you're into programming, like I am. And he was wondering whether he's pretty sure that Discord is either a Chinese data farm or a CIA data farm, NSA data farm. Oh, dude. That is one heck of a blister, man. Wow. Yep. That brings back memories. It's weird that it's on your... Is it actually your left hand? Damn, were you playing bass or guitar? Sorry, I can't remember if you said. Don't think I've ever dripped that much sweat. I went through 2 towels drying off my bass. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. Guitar doesn't really get you these kinds of larger blisters. That's definitely a bass blister. I would have bet on it, but you never know. I have a feeling that Mike will join us at some point, if he hasn't already. But he has to look after his wife who broke her arm. Mike, if you're here, I hope she's doing well, and I hope she's on the mend, certainly. But gives you an opportunity to catch us at the stream, which is lovely. Right, ladies and gents, thank you very much, mainly gents. Thanks for joining on a Sunday. Sunday being the 7th day of the week. We're not going to practice too hard, but we're going to practice regardless, because its own form of worshipping is playing music and working on your craft and your spiritual wellness, and that certainly qualifies in my book. And it says, taking care of the woman first. I felt bad laughing at that misfortune, but the story of him still being able to bass out with us was hilarious. Yeah, it was. Mike, I'm looking forward to meeting him someday on the channel. It'd be nice to have him, well, either of you two guys, like on video, and he seems like quite the character. So yeah, it'd be lovely to actually meet, not face to face, but speak in real time. That'd be good fun. Like I said, Sunday, the 7th day of the week. It so happens there are 7 modes in the major scale. We've got our trusty Ionian mode, also known as your regular major scale. We've got number 2, Dorian. Number 3, Phrygian. Number 4, Lydian. Number 5, Mixolydian. Number 6, Aeolian. And the dreaded, most altered, most unholy, not sure it's the most unholy, but the weirdest mode for sure. Why do I say most altered? Because compared to the major mode, this one is pretty dark and angular and strange, and the overall sound it suggests is pretty strange. So here's the major scale again for comparison. Here's Locrian. And it gives us this half diminished chord. Why half diminished? Well, it's mostly a minor chord because of the flat 3, but then the 5th is diminished as well, which gives us for sure a diminished chord. Now the 7th will determine whether it's a half diminished or a fully diminished chord. In this case, it's simply a flattened 7, a minor 7, as opposed to what would be a fully diminished chord, which would be a doubly flat 7, which would give us this sound. There you go, guys. Locrian. I'm not going to dig too much into it because there's plenty of videos out there of people doing a really, really good job at going super deep in, giving like obscure and also famous examples of the Locrian scale being used in songs all over the place. Excuse me. But essentially, associating a day of the week with a mode doesn't seem like a terrible idea to me. So I'll just do a little refresher every day. And we will... Jeffrey's in the house as well. Thank you very much, Jeffrey, for joining again. Much appreciated, man. So that's it for the Locrian. But on the other hand, I had a bit of an epiphany today. It may seem obvious to you guys if you like expanding upon when somebody gives you an exercise and you decide, okay, I can take this in so many directions. If you already have this kind of mindset, good for you. Keep going. Amazing. It takes me a little bit of time it takes the engine a bit of time for me to sort of rev up. And in this case, since I've started putting a bit more focus on fretboard knowledge for the last couple of weeks, since I feel like I've got my left hand and right hand back in terms of speed and accuracy and precision. Not to seem too presumptuous, but I feel like I'm in a pretty good place as opposed to where I started, 4 months ago, something like that. I'm pretty happy to sort of switch the focus and move on to fretboard knowledge. And I was like, okay, we've got this great exercise. I tend to slow down a little bit as we go deep into the neck, but you know this exercise, guys. And instead of naming the notes on that, which is it's actually a pretty steep learning curve because it's such an awkward movement to follow. Why not start with something that I already know backwards and just name the notes on that as well? Why not just apply the exact same principle to a simpler exercise? And I was thinking, for people who have zero fretboard knowledge whatsoever, start with the very basic version of the one finger per fret exercise. Let me just switch screens. It says bass time with Phil, then going to watch the vid of the Black Sabbath final concert after. Saw snippet, tear jerking. Ozzy was the reason I picked up playing. Oh, dude. What do you mean? Is it their last gig? Michael is in the house. We were talking about you, Michael, earlier, and we were hoping that your wife was on the mend. Playing. Why is my camera not? Oh, I know why. Should be back now. There we go. Okay, lovely. Sweet, dude. So is it their last concert ever? I'm not really up to date with the sort of legends of metal, I suppose. But yeah, be interested to hear what their final gig was last night. Damn. Wow. To be fair, I think we're all kind of surprised that he made it this far. Of course, Mike, happy to hear she's, on the mend. And I hope that she doesn't mind you joining us. So back to this idea, guys. Why it was staring me in the face the whole time, and I'm like, why don't I just, instead of going straight for this more difficult exercise, YouTube can go away for now. Instead of focusing on this exercise, which is a much steeper learning curve, why don't I start with this one and simply name the notes on that thing that I kind of already know backwards? That way I don't have to focus so much on the exercise itself. I can focus on naming the notes underneath my fingers. And just to demonstrate really quickly, hopefully really quickly, sharps on the way up and flats on the way down. Hell, all of them. Mainly Randy Rhoads was my inspiration of picking up the guitar back in '93. Yeah, no, hang on. I'm thinking of Sean Lane. Which one is it that passed away young? I'm thinking of Sean Lane, I think. Yeah, oh boy, that brings me back. Right. So, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, B, C, C sharp, D, E, F, F sharp, G, this and taking it down a semitone every time. That way there's a lot of overlap between the notes, so you get to sort of repeat the notes you've just mentioned, and it's not that hard of it's not that hard, that it doesn't feel like such a slog as the other exercise does, and you're kind of sort of couched into the fact that they're adjacent notes, so they're kind of easy. It's kind of easier to sort of latch onto and progressively progress. Another one of my great philisms. The importance of progressing it progressively, guys. Whew, I'm on a roll today. And applying that thing, taking it down the semitone every single time, lots of overlap, lot easier to approach of an exercise than naming the notes that are just a sixth and a seventh apart. It's great, but I'm just not quite there yet, and I feel like I'd like to be able to do it on camera a bit more often and just make it more of a routine. Probably best if I start doing this rather than using this very difficult platform of an exercise to improve my fretboard knowledge. And then move on to the other variants. Obviously this one is going to be the same. It's just going to be, the static hold one, where you move one finger at a time. Use that as well, and then do these until you get comfortable naming the notes underneath. So C sharp, G, D sharp, A, F sharp, D, G sharp, E. Okay, well I can just keep doing that until I've got these notes under my finger, and then move on and then take it down the neck in semitones, in half steps. So I thought that was kind of cool. On the other hand, Nate says, oh, it was Randy that passed away quite young, but he wasn't the Sabbath guitarist. All the Sabbath guys still with us. Tony Yummy was the Sabbath guitarist, but when Ozzy was fired due to substance abuse, he formed his own group with Rhodes. I see. Lots of lore that surrounds lore that surrounds Sabbath, it seems to me. Yeah, dude, pretty legendary band for sure. Then I thought, okay, that's cool. That's pretty cool. What's another approach? What's another way I can sort of approach fretboard knowledge that doesn't drive me crazy because I can't remember that this is an A flat, or I can't remember if I'm going on the way down or blah blah blah. Inversions. They always say inversions are the building blocks of improvisation, of fretboard knowledge. Well, yeah, okay, finally you've got my attention. It only took 20 years. Let's start with C and play 1, 3, 5. First, step number 1, spot all the C's on your fretboard, at least the ones that aren't. I'm not talking about well, that's the only one actually. Just spot all of them that allow you to cover, let's say, 2 or 3 octaves, and then play a simple arpeggio. 1, 3, 5, major arpeggio. No, C. Actually, C, you can only play those 2 octaves unless you've got a much longer fretboard, which I don't, which is good for demonstration purposes. Geezer Butler, that's right, yeah. He's just an insane bassist, very unique style. We're going to have to check some of that out at some point, man, for sure. Geezer Butler. A butler. Right, so I've got my 2. Okay, great. So I know where my first inversion C is. Now, where's my second inversion C? What's a second inversion, you will say? Instead of starting on the 1 and play 1, 3, 5, we'll start on the 3. The 3 of C being E. We play E, G, C. And now the good thing about that is that there's loads of E's on the fretboard. I've got one here, empty, open E string. And if you're lucky, which means I can play the first inversion on C on over the span of 3 octaves. So here we go. E, G, C, E, G, C, E, G, C. Right, so I'm covering already. I know where my E's are, I know where my C's are. Second inversion, instead of starting on the 1 or the 3rd, we start on the 5th. The 5th, 1, 3, 5, based on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, obviously just as a refresher. The 5 of C is G. Okay, what's my lowest G? My lowest G is here. Step 2. Spot all the G's. Spot all the G's. That's the G spot where all the G's hang out. 1 here, 1 G here, another one here. Great. For G's, I've got 3 octaves. Very, very cool. That allows me to just cover the whole length of the neck. So I play G, C, E. Again, it's just like a string of letters. C, E, G. If I shift to the starting point being E, I've got E, G, C. And then if I move again, G, C, E, etc., etc. It's like a constantly repeating chain of notes. So I've got G, C, E, G, C, E, G, C. I've got to bend that last one just to prove the point that I can get 3 octaves of second inversion C's on the neck. That's first inversion done. Only 2 available on the C. First inversion, second inversion on the G. Cool. Now where do I go from there? Well, I take it round the circle of fifths. Jonas in the house. I'm at work, so just stopped by to say hello. Looking forward to seeing the video later. Again, Jonas, much appreciated. Thank you very much for turning up, man. Stay focused, though. You're working on a Sunday, dude. Oof. Hospitality? Or on a gig? Hopefully you're on a gig. And not working in a restaurant. I mean, respect to people who do it. I did it for 1.5 years. Would never go back to it. Never, ever, ever. So, take it round the circle of fifths. It's okay if I don't know the circle of fifths by heart, because I've got loads of time. I don't have a metronome just hounding me. I can just take my time and say, okay, what is the next fifth? What am I talking about? What is the next note in the circle of fifths? C, it's F. Oddly enough, if you think of the circle of fifths as a clockwise or anti-clockwise, I prefer to take it around, I wouldn't say backwards, but in the direction that follows like the 2-5-1 or 3-6-2-5-1 type of thing. I find it easier to picture it that way and to remember it. But again, that's something I need to work on. So what's the next note? Upper fourth, F. What are the 3 notes that make an F major triad? F, A, and C. So F, A, C. Spot all the Fs first. Spot all the Fs on the neck. I've got F here, F here, F here. 3 octaves. Lovely, jubbly. Loads of room to play with. Okay, so let's go. First inversion F, F, A, C, F, A, C, F, A, C. Should probably take it down as well, actually. C, A, F, C, A, F, C, A, F. And every single time I try to associate the name of the note. Okay, C is here, A, this is an A, this is an F. And if I can't find the C or the A or the F, I'll just go back to my root F. Okay, well, F is here. I already know that F is here. So that means I've got to start here. Sweet. No gig this weekend, unfortunately, says Jonas. Happy stream. Catch you another time. Thank you very much, Jonas. Have a lovely, lovely Sunday evening. Have a lovely Sunday evening, even though you're working. Take care, dude. Thanks again for stopping by, and we'll catch you later, or you'll catch me later. Second inversion, F. Okay, first inversion, F, A, C. If I switch to the third as my starting point, that means A, C, F. So, where are all the A's on my neck? A, A, A. It's gonna be still possible. Okay, let's just call it 3 octaves. So A, C, F are the 3 notes I have to play to do an F first inversion. So A, C, F, A, C, F, A, C, C, F. Oh, that's a double. Yeah, that's bending it all the way up a whole tone. Should probably take it down as well. So F, C, A, F, C, A, F, C, A. That's first inversion F done. Second inversion, so F, A, C, first inversion, A, C, F, second inversion, third inversion, C, F, A. So spot all my C's again. Look, loop-de-loop. We're back to C, spotting the C's again. So C, F, A is going to be my F major second inversion. So C, F, A, C, F, A. And that's about C. Not able to do it over 3 octaves, but that's essentially it as well. Take it down again. Was it C, F, A? So C, F, C, F, CFA. Is that CFA? No. C, CF. What am I talking about? No, it's not CFA, it's AFC. That's why I have to think about this stuff. So AFC. Let's go. AFC. AFC. Like they would say on Open Studio, take it through all 12 keys and you're good to go. So I'll be doing that in my spare time, essentially just doing major inversions. And taking it through different inversions and thinking about the notes underneath the notes that I'm playing. I know it's a bit dense, guys, but it's a really cool. Another really cool way to approach fretboard knowledge is if I was to only do this and name all the notes underneath, there has to be a little bit of functional practice attached to it, because it's really good, this exercise, because it's completely devoid of any harmonic or theory framework. It's literally just name random notes on the fretboard in quick succession. Whereas if you also approach it with arpeggios, like let's say F sharp, G, C, G, F sharp, G, B, D, F, F, A, C, B, G, E, C, B, G. Then I'm associating notes with a key center, which is also a very good thing as well. Depending on your level of, depending on how much time you have, some of them might be more applicable, but definitely working with inversions and simple major arpeggios is a really, really good way to start. taking all the major arpeggios in all inversions through the cycle of the 12 keys of the cycle of fifths, then doing it in minor, then doing it in diminished, then bringing in seventh and do seventh inversions as well. So that's four sets of so 3 sets of inversions plus the root note per cluster to practice. Very time consuming, but since this is what I'm trying to get better at, I can't quite skim on that. That's not something I can really skip, especially since in September I'll start having to teach a bit more piano and harmony. Means I have to, all of that needs to be refreshed and needs to be pretty solid in my head again. So I'll be doing this kind of exercise daily. I probably won't be streaming it that much, maybe every now and then to sort of, if somebody asks a question that relates to that, I'll be able to fall back onto these exercises. But more interestingly, I'm going to add them onto a new section on the PDF that's growing slowly, which will be Fretboard knowledge. And that's going to be, I'll do that tomorrow or maybe after this. And I will add that to, like I said, to the PDF. So I'm slowly building up and consolidating my base course, which I will eventually, once it's plump enough, I'll put it for sale. But for now, guys, you are free to download it for free. And as a bonus round, and after that I'll go and eat some food because I'm starving already. Weird, on Sundays I'm always hungry earlier. Hayes RX, do I know anesthesia? The concept, I mean the medical procedure, or the I'm guessing it's a band. Sorry, I'm being facetious. I don't know anesthesia. I know Tim Henson's band. What are they called again? Tim Henson. Similar name to that, right? Is it Tim Henson? It is Tim Henson. What is the name of his band again? Polyphia. Okay, not quite the same. I don't know anesthesia. Hazer X. I can check it out. It's a bass solo song by Cliff Burton. You're kidding me. Let's check it out. Anesthesia, Metallica. Okay, let's check it out. I'm willing to take 1 copyright strike per stream. There's Periphery and there's Polyphia, but I've never heard of Polyphery. Although that's, if you want to mix the two together, Polyphery, pretty good. Let me check that the volume's not crazy loud. That's pretty cool, dude. I'm gonna have to check that out. What's up, Zero the Hero? Yo, dude, welcome. Or welcome back, Zero. Have we met before? Have you been here before? Michael, polypheria. Polypheroid. Sounds like a medical condition. Sounds like hemorrhoid, but a multiplicity of hemorrhoids. I've got polypheroids. Or thyroid. Yeah, dude, it's a pretty good solo. I like it. I like the sort of arpeggio. And then there was all kinds of, nasty tone. Cliff Burton, it's great. I agree, dude. Truly, legend gone too soon, and in a pretty horrific manner as well. Yeah, may you rest in peace, dude. Really, really sad. So like I said, guys, all of these exercises, I will start beefing up the free PDF available at Phil Plays Bass. Phil Plays Bass on Patreon, guys. I think I'm pointing in the right direction. Yes, it's getting closer. It is getting closer. Look at it. Look at it. Look at the finger. What's right on top of it? Phil Plays Bass. There we go. Go check that out, Patreon. So tomorrow I'll add some more stuff to the PDF, which will basically include all of the stuff I've been talking about fretboard knowledge that I'm going through now, guys. This is not me prescribing some weird stuff. It's just what is helping me and what I think is a good progressive way to approach fretboard knowledge. Yeah, dude, it's disgusting in a good way. It's disgusting in an excellent way. Let me just skip forward a little bit. Oh. The drums come in as well. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we can definitely debate which Metallica tune is better than the other. For sure. Happy to do that. Happy to do that. Okay, we've got several entries. Have we got enough for a poll? No, we don't have enough for a poll. Not just yet. Best Metallica bass solo. Okay. Interesting. What other bass solos are there? Okay, fine. I'll play Orion for a little bit. But that's not... Is it Cliff Burton as well? Yeah, it is Cliff Burton on the Master of Puppets. Is it? Sorry, guys, you'll forgive my my little bits of ignorance. Glaring ignorance, in fact, actually, I should say. It's glaring. Unforgivable ignorance. Yes, says Hazar. It's unforgivable. I shall remain unforgiven. Okay, do I get a point for that at least? No relation whatsoever with For Whom the Bell Tolls. That's a bit of a side note, guys. This is a really good and a really interesting bit of technique as well. being able to play chords like that without having a pick, squeezing these two fingers together, and playing with your nails. It's a bit of an effect that some people like to use. I've never really personally found an actual application for it in the wild, but who knows? Maybe you will. So there's that available to you. That and all sorts of strange flamenco stuff as well. If you guys have seen that, that's a pretty cool technique as well. Ooh, yeah. Bet you didn't expect that, did you? It's all flamenco stuff. I was kind of into that at some point on the actual flamenco guitar, and I was like, oh, that's something I'll never use on a gig. But I'll definitely use it at sound check for sure. To check for what? For nothing. Just a cool little punctuation. Just something like that. I've seen once Richard Bonner does use that on some. Oh, I'll never be able to remember what the video is, but he has this insane bass line. I've got it saved somewhere. Stinger? I think I was planning on using it as a stinger, but no, that's something else. Bonner? Richard Bonner-Lick? No, I won't be able to remember it, but there's this absolutely insane lick. It's a mix of slap, double thumbing, and then slaps the string down. It's, the way he does it is like, it's just the most suave, most impressive thing I had ever heard in my life. I should be able to find that video again, but not on the spot. Yeah, pretty cool lick. Where was I? What was I talking about? Oh yeah. I found another exercise. That was pretty cool. I didn't find it really. I saw a guy do this kind of movement, and I was like, ooh, that sounds pretty. Not quite that. It's like alternating between. Something like that. But I have found a sequence, and I'll be adding it to the one finger per fret selection of exercises on the PDF as well. So you guys have got loads of interesting new material coming your way, and hopefully I've gained a little bit of interest from our new friends Hazar and Zero, who may not be here anymore. Not too sure. But whoever is still here, guys, if you guys know it already, I'll be dropping some of these in the Discord once the PDFs are nice and tidy, and you guys will be able to check that out. And Hazar is still here as well. Lovely dude. Well, if I've earned a like on this video, it would be super appreciated, man. Or a subscription as well. It really helps the channel. So I try to stream every day, dude, and I read the comments. The point is interacting together, and for you guys to pull me in different directions, and essentially just a forum for me chatting loads of bull all the time. But hopefully in a mildly entertaining way, and with bass-centered, shall we say. Yeah. I was also told by my dear mum that my voice sounded really nasal and a little bit teeny tiny. So I have to do some vocal warm-ups before I'm gonna start to sound like Jacob Collier. He's back, guys. He's back. The ghost of alive Jacob Collier is haunting this stream as well. Michael says, I found an amazing video last night with Lars Lehmann called From Eighth Notes to Slap Bass, the core of Lars and Andy's playing styles. That doesn't sound like a copyright strike at all. Let's check that out. From Eighth Notes to Slap Bass. I know she isn't, but I'd like for my voice. Oh, jeez. Okay, this is a very hot bass player on the suggestions straight away. I found the video, Mike. Let's see if we can. Michael, you're bringing this upon yourself. If there's another torturous exercise in there, that will be on you. Oh no, was it you the last time, or was it me that decided we had to do this exercise? I think it was me. Sorry, Mike. I'm sorry, but in this case, it's 100% on you. So if there's something really painful for the left hand or right hand, you will have to take the blame. Maybe we'll name the exercise after you. If I come up with my own version of it, that is. Hello, friends. Hello. Okay, I found it now. Different one. Sorry, I was working on some piano voicings earlier. This should be it. All right. Lovely. Make a bit more room for it.
I thought it would be fun to do a little challenge, and this is going to be
Oh, here it comes, Michael. Here it comes.
kind of hard because we as bass players tend to have our musical journey is a synergy of many different things. But my challenge to you, Lars, is can you summarize what makes you in your playing in a very
What makes you?
short way, and tell us what is the core of your musicality?
Wow, that's a tough one, man. A great part of my playing is just holding the groove down and, you know, what you would call bread and butter playing. And there's so much you can do.
Ja, bread and butter and Kartoffels.
I'll, for instance, playing eighth notes, right? I grew up as an 70s and 80s kid, growing up to Deep Purple, Whitesnake, Uriah Heep, you know, all those great rock bands like
Nice.
Zeppelin, Alice Cooper, the old Queen, stuff like that. So I really got like the full injection of the whole rock thing. And what that is based on usually, as far as bass is concerned, is playing eighth notes, right? So there's a lot of stuff you can do while playing eighth notes. Like you can do the legato eighth notes like this. Right? And I'm not sure if you guys saw that, but I'm playing with one finger, even if I could play with two fingers. But I like to play it with one finger actually, you know, that sort of a Jamerson thing, because it's a little bit more even, you know. Try to make it as even as possible. But then again, also you can choose from maybe staccato notes like this.
Mike says there's a poignant quote in this. The left hand shows what you know, the right hand shows who you are. I love that. That is so cool. It joins in very nicely with the other one, which is the left hand is the steering wheel and the right hand is the engine. But this is a really cool compliment to that as well. Love it, Mike. Thanks.
And that's where I will lift up my finger right after playing my desired note, right? So I'm doing, not sure if you can see this, guys.
Oh, funny he should mention that combination of right hand and left hand muting technique.
So
We were just talking about that yesterday, weren't we?
and if you want less fret noise, you can do it like this. Put your other fingers before the finger that's actually playing the note. This, you have a little bit of a muting sound.
Do you agree that you could play that stuff all day long and never ever get bored and just be super happy?
Yeah,
It's those kind of grooves, those I call them pounding eighth note grooves.
Yeah.
One of the most fun things you can do with a bass guitar.
Pounding.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
please
absolutely.
continue.
Yeah, I totally agree. Couldn't agree more, really. And if you hate playing eighth notes or holding the groove down, you should probably consider another instrument. I'm not really, or consider a career as a solo bass player or so. You know, I really love that kind of stuff, and you know, my clients love me for loving that. So obviously, there's another
And potatoes.
type of eighth notes, which is a combination of the staccato and the legato, which would be short, right? So like duck, da, duck, da, duck, da. So if I put that into a groove,
If You Want Me to Stay by Sly and the Family Stone, great example of that particular groove. Mike says, lots of talk in this 20-minute video, but Lars does some things that totally justify Lars's torturous exercise. He's amazing. I agree. And he has a really, really lovely sounding bass as well. Really, really excellent sounding bass. There's no secret, guys. I'm going to plug this back in very soon and use it with my this Fender Jazz. It's essentially what he's got in built in. Probably better manufacturing quality on this Sadowski than my factory Fender, but yeah, can get close to that sound as well.
I'm also putting a little bit more volume and power into my short notes. So I would be going duck, da, duck, da, which creates this sort of pumping effect. Like right? And that is also a very, very useful way of playing eighth notes. And it wasn't until much, much later that I realized that it was actually used by guys like Larry Graham way back in the
Who did I say? Who did I say? Sly and the Family Stone. There we go. Graham Central Station. Larry Graham on If You Want Me to Stay. That's the perfect example of that kind of pumping groove.
the 60s, right? He would do.
That accenting and that dynamic, having strong dynamic, light dynamic, strong.
Oh, Mike, if only you knew. What's that? That's an Aguilar tone hammer for you, my friend. Right there. Precisely the same thing she uses, for sure. Aguilar tone hammer and a bit of... Oh, sod it. I'm just going to plug it in now. I just want to see what I can get out of it. Let me just keep playing that video and listen to it at the same time. I know, it's complete coincidence, Mike, but I do have a tone hammer as well. Yeah. Way, of course. Oh, here we go. Oops, sorry guys, I forgot to turn the video back on. Sorry, I was on the wrong window. Apologies. No, he was just playing some pretty amazing stuff, by the way. So,
Your heart beats the hard rock stuff at the core.
I would say, yeah, I'm on the one side I'm a rock guy, on the other side I'm a slapping guy, because I also grew up on Jonas Hallborg, More King, level 42, all that flashy slap stuff. I love guys like Louis Johnson and Larry Graham. Tend to love them much more than some modern flashy players. I tend to gravitate towards the guys that I grew up with.
Will you show us some of your vocabulary, some of the way that you speak with your slap style? Just play a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Let's check this out.
He's some of your moves.
So funky.
So basically, a lot of.
Is this on? Yeah, my strings are very, very old. Got to swap them for a fresh set, but apart from that. Yeah, he can slap, that guy. He can slap.
That stuff is not that complicated compared to, like, if you have a guy like a Mark King who will go, But what I like to do is use some as some sort of spice, within my groove. Because I was probably one of the first guys in Germany to imply the double thumping thing into my playing. I'm not saying I was the first guy, but I was definitely one of the first guys, like way back in the 90s, when like the first Basic Streams songbook came over here. So I started to practice, my. First of all, I did something like this. Right? Using my thumb as if it were a plectrum.
Oh my god, mine is so messy. Something to work on. In the meantime, guys, I'm still starving. I'm gonna go get some food. So we will have to continue watching this, or I might just watch it on my own. Oh, okay, just a little bit longer.
I would do stuff like that, grooves that I would play with a pick usually. Right, and then after that I would also bring in my my plug like this. Yeah. Doing this. And I took that to a point where I actually, as far as my thinking is concerned while playing, I'm only throwing my hand towards the string and I'm getting like 3 notes out of that. Like, there's no way, because I've done it so much, that I can not get 3 notes of that.
I noticed some of the time you're doing it.
I love how he's using his pinky finger as a. You can see it pretty well on the not that particular frame, but just Yeah, right there. You can see how he's using his pinky finger as kind of a rest stop to help him push on out again. And I think I'm kind of doing the same thing. Stay consistent. It's really, really difficult with this kind of technique. Nate, you cooked? Tired? Or is it still super humid? Damn, dude. It's difficult. Definitely difficult. You blame Michael. Yeah, I'm blaming Michael for my newfound, my reignited fire for slapping. Oh, dude. Get those, like, double, triple wrapping plasters. You guys must have them in America as well. They saved my life on so many gigs with the double bass. It just grew by, it just grew 3 times. I like it here under the bus. Don't worry, Mike. Don't worry. The proverbial bus. It's only proverbial. Alright, guys. That seems to be like a lovely place to leave it out. I'm very, very hungry. I know I need to make myself sandwiches, but I don't want to just chomp on food whilst I'm, you know, talking about bass. It's just... Plus, my room's going to turn into... no, it's just going to be an absolute... Sorry, I should say my studio. My studio is going to turn into a crummy mess. Haven't even learned the double thumb. Something to think about, Mike, for a future stream. Yeah, we'll have to go through some of that as well, but... yeah, definitely not something you would use at all, ever, or hardly ever, in a professional setting. Unless you're single and the girl you fancy in the crowd is also a bass player. I think that's the only moment where I would actually go into full-on double thumb kind of stuff. Yeah. Guys, always a pleasure to see Mike, to see Nate, Jeffrey, and Jonas, who only swung by briefly because he's at work. A little thought for Jonas. We hope you have a lovely evening working and nothing bad happens to you. Mike, I hope your wife keeps staying on the mend. On the mend. And Nate, I hope your blister heals very, very soon. Fresh air. Sadly, it's pretty much the only thing you can do, right? I'm sure you've been there many times, but yeah, fresh air is the only thing that will speed up your recovery. Then you got to practice on another finger than your Saturday night finger, dude. It's gonna have to be, become James Jameson on your middle finger. James Jameson of the middle finger will be your title, your official nobility title. Nate of Indiana of the middle finger. Fame. Ladies and gents, that will be the end. I need to get like a credits rolling kind of outro music so I can just press it and just say thanks and blah 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 and then. But yeah, I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. I think soundboards are not crazy expensive, so I'll just go for it. Plus, Michael's been very generous in his contributions as well. So all of that needs to go into a soundboard for more fun stuff and a slightly smoother streaming experience and watching experience for you guys. Thank you all for joining today. I shall see you again tomorrow for more. We'll see what happens, really, at some point. We'll see. At this point, we'll see what happens. Pleasure to see you all. Catch you tomorrow. Toodles.